Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 5 Virus-made levels, so in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more Virus-made levels, starting off with this one. Water Cleaning Facility version 2 by FrostBlue1, with 10 plays and a score of 0. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. This looks to be either a fortress stage or a traditional level. Could be either. Right now it feels more like a traditional level. Nice introduction to the Captain Bion, aka the bomb flies, the pookers, as well as those pole vaulting enemies. Also, nice foreground and background tileset combinations. Works rather well together. By exploring the left route, I gained a free E-tank. I see we're introducing the ring and coil platforms first in a safe, isolated environment. And now over a bottomless pit. Thankfully there's a nicely placed checkpoint right over here, as well as a full life energy respawner. Now we're gradually placing the ring and coil platforms in more dangerous environments, aka bottomless pit. Nah, I won't go for that E-tank, it's a bit too risky. Actually, wait, I can go down over there. It's not too risky. In fact, by taking the left route, it was a bit easier. Combining usage of the big fish and the rainbow platforms. Rainbow/ring platforms. There's a clear delineation of where the big fish enemies will spawn in from though. So nice telegraphing. I think this marks the end of the stage. Overall this was an above average traditional level. Good checkpoint placement, nice introduction and escalation of challenges. So overall a wonderful stage. At least 7 out of 10. Even the boss fight against Bubble Man wasn't that bad. Second level on the lineup is Cloudman Stage Mega Man 7 by Retrogameraaron, with 41 plays and a score of 11. So this is going to be a remix / recreation of Cloudman Stage from Mega Man 7. Let's see, we started with the Rush Coil, as was Cloudman's original weakness, the Danger Wrap. We're even introduced to the same enemy types so far. That was just me failing to jump at the correct time. Oops. So far, a pleasant introduction, although it's about the same introduction as in the original stage. Sadly, unlike the original Cloudman stage, we won't have the changing weather effects. Because one of the main challenges / gimmicks of this stage were the rainy sections of the level, which had the wind push you backwards. I guess this is a replacement for the blizzard / iced over segment. Let's take the upper optional route. Didn't quite make the jump, and I fell into a pit over there. Let's try this segment again, shall we? All for an extra E-tank. Some of these jumps are a bit risky, at least for me. The musical track remix providing this engine is pretty good. This is where we originally talked with Proto Man. where he would give us a hint. So let's swap over to him. Ah yes, here are the Fan Fiend enemies. In the original stage, those Fan Fiend analogs could swap direction from switching between pulling you in and pushing you out. They were closer to the Yafu enemies overall. That should be the end of the stage. Although, unlike the original battle, the left and right platforms on the sides of the screen, they don't collapse. There's no longer a bottomless pit here. Of course, just like Cloudman, Windman's weakness here was the danger wrap. Overall, this was a pleasant stage. I like Shademan's recreation more from this series of levels, but this was pleasant overall. It maintained the same general level design of the original Cloudman level, while adding some modifications to account for some of the missing stuff. Third level on the lineup is Double Jump Frenzy B1 by Jedox74, with 19 plays and a score of 6. So the next mini-series of challenge levels, this time focusing on Bass and his dashing and double jumping abilities. Starting out easy enough, and immediately failing this challenge. That could have gone worse. I made it there with just one hit left. One hit left from the yellow force beams, that is. Rats, wasn't fast enough. Never mind. Thank you, Yoku Block. That was stage 1. Nice setup, nothing too difficult. Although I'd only recommend to people who understand Bass's double jumping abilities, this isn't the best tutorial level for this. It already assumes that you understand how those work. Fourth level on the lineup is the second level in this series. 5 plays and a score of 2. Let's hope that the difficulty progression in this mini-series of stages is better compared to Mega Man's, as that one was rather inconsistent. Whereas the previous level was completely horizontal, this one seems to be completely vertical. I do want that, just in case. Going to do a safety reset as always. Okay, I definitely need it. I see, we need to race past all the gyres so they don't despawn our skull barrier. Not that difficult, but it's still more difficult than the previous stage in this series. So that's a plus. Whereas before, in the first section of the stage, we were traveling from bottom to top, now we're traveling from top to bottom. Oops. Forgot that it despawned. I was a bit worried that I was going to run out of skull barrier energy, as there's no way to restore it over here. That's one of my only complaints about this stage. I found this more compelling and less monotonous/repetitive than the previous one. Fifth level on the lineup is Man Reimagined by ProfessorZtar, with 11 plays and a score of 3. Three choices. We can either go through the stage as Mega Man, Proto Man, or Bass. Let's go through it as Mega Man. So we'll gain access to the Jet Adapter and Night Crush. It seems that even when everything is blacked out on the blackout blocks, you can still see the oil slicks. Actually, that's a neat trick. Using the oil slicks, we can now see, even when standing on those blocks, where the bottomless pits are. So that's a good design decision, ProfessorZtar. We even have split pathways depending on what character you play as. As if I was playing as either Proto Man or Bass, I could not take the middle route. Guess I'll have to play through the stage twice more to see what the other differences are. There's one, for example. Here's where two routes link up with each other. Safe introduction to the fan gimmicks. Now placing them over spikes. This segment would be a lot more dangerous if we're playing through it as Proto Man, as he doesn't have access to double jumping, dashing, or Mega Man's jet adapter. That's how we do it. It only took 4 deaths. Well, I guess I'm taking the lore route then. Just like in the original Shade Man stage, depending on how you defeat the boss, you can either take the right route or the bottom route. But because we don't have the pumpkin mini-boss, we have the choice ourselves, by using our special weapons. And I do like these separate routes. It adds to the replayability of the stage. Another place where the 2 routes link up with each other. Here is the end of the stage. I think I'll play through it at least once more, just to see what I missed. Unlike the previous Shade Man remix stage that I played by Retrogameraaron, which was above average to good by the way, this felt like a definite reimagining, more heavily utilizing the blackout blocks as a primary gimmick, and using the oil slicks to delineate where the gaps are in the ground. That's a clever usage of a gimmick. Let's see how Proto Man goes through this stage. I tried jumping out of it, but it didn't work. For example, the introductory part of the stage is a lot different with the original introductory part of the stage. Oops. Didn't mean to walk into those spikes. Thank goodness there was a checkpoint here. This time, instead of entering the manor from the top end, let's enter it from the bottom end. I don't see any need to get the Proto Buster, so I'll ignore it. Well, that's interesting. It seems that the Dockroach nests are immune against the Flame Blast. Here's where the 2 pathways link up with each other. Now we have this challenge. Alright, made it past the fan segment. That's the most unfun part of the stage, mainly due to how peculiar the fans work in this engine. It took me over a dozen attempts to figure out how to get through that segment, unfortunately. Let's see where the right route takes us to this time. If that segment could be nerfed, then this would definitely be my favorite level to part. That's the main thing that's detracting from this stage. Here we need to run for our lives. Do we even need the rolling drills? Only for an E-tank and extra life. Not worth it. I don't recall this segment being in the original level, so another nice part of the reimagining. Where the two pathways link up with each other. And now we'll be refacing Shademan, so let's exit this stage. 6th level on the lineup is Collapse version 3 by MAGMAX, with 23 plays and a score of 5. We have the scrolling background from Chargeman stage, version 2 of that. Suddenly we have water. Suddenly we have a hidden spike wall to the right. We need to just blast our way through all of these junk blocks. The Star Crash just chews right through the junk blocks without wasting any special weapon energy. Okay, that was strange. You need to be quick when collecting the shine, otherwise you'll get trapped over there. We need to reflect back all Fairman's shots in order to defeat him. That's not too difficult to do though, especially because I have infinite shine energy. All the projectiles that Fairman can throw at me, they're all relatively horizontal. So that stage exists. So 7th and final level of the part is Not So Easy Feeling version 2 by JKS8213 with 2 plays and a score of 0. This I believe is a remake of one of the original levels that they made. Wait a minute, what's to the right of me? Oh yeah, this is kind of a Two Worlds level. Or rather, this stage has 2 elevations, above ground and below ground. Let's first do the stage below ground. Well, that was easy. Now let's do the stage above ground. And immediately fail at doing that. Thankfully, there is a teleporter right at the beginning of those segments. The upper route was more focused on enemy challenges, whereas the lower route was focused more on platforming challenges. At least that's how I feel. And because the stage is so short, we don't have any checkpoints before the boss battle. Never mind, we're only facing a Whopper. In fact, let's just skip it. Here's the first checkpoint. Let's continue taking the upper route. This stage definitely feels longer. Let's see what I missed. Not much actually, only one screen. Let's get the Yoshiki and face the boss. It does feel more fleshed out than the original stage, but I'd like to see this concept of the two different areas having different challenges taken further, and we can switch between the two. I can think of several neat challenge levels or puzzle levels focused on that gimmick. Otherwise, even though it feels better than the original not so easy feeling, it's still very forgettable. So overall, out of the 7 levels I covered in this part, my favorite level would be Water Cleaning Facility by Frostblue, with an honorable mention going to Man Reimagined by ProfessorZtar. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more Virus Made levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!